tuning in to another episode of the Berardo Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Berardo. Each episode I focus on giving you fun, entertaining content on health, happiness, positivity, and anything else that's important to us humans. If you haven't already, you can follow me on Instagram at the Berardo, and don't forget to subscribe to the show by visiting theberardo.com/thepodcast, or just click that little subscribe button wherever you're listening to the podcast. Thanks again, and enjoy the episode.
You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
What up? Hey, thanks for tuning in to another episode. Just like most of my other episodes, I'm biased. I think this is a fun conversation. I actually ended up talking to an old friend. He's been on the show before, Chris Morgan. He's a aspiring stand-up comedian. He also has a full-time job. He's a full-time dad, and just overall a really funny human with tons of of great stories. But we kind of chat about what we've been up to during the pandemic. His comic career, being in stand-up comedy now. And we also talk about a little bit about social media and kind of where that's headed, a bunch of other topics I think you'll get a lot of value out of, and more importantly, have a laugh in the process. So before we get into today's episode, I do want to thank our friends over at Public Goods. So Public Goods, guys, is my one-stop shop. I mean, now we typically do, if you listen to my other podcast with the wife, we do subscription boxes like Purple Carrot. So that's typically how we do our grocery shopping. Aside from that, if we want any other household products or canned goods or anything, we go to Public Goods. Public Goods is literally the one-stop shop for everything you need. Public Goods has affordable, sustainable, and they have a really healthy household products from, living and personal care all the way down to your pantry staples that you would normally get. So like pasta, canned goods, trail mix, etc. You can visit publicgoods.com. If you want a discount, use the code TonyPGA. They even have sulfate-free shampoo. They have organic pesto sauce, tree-free paper products. Overall, just tons of great products. Again, visit publicgoods.com. Use the code TonyPGA. You're going to get a big discount at checkout. And last but not least, I do want to thank our buddies over at Rainforest Bowls. I'm sick of using these plates and the silverware that we typically use. The one thing I love about Rainforest Bowls is they have a plethora of really cool utensils, bowls, straws, forks, knives, spoons. I mean, you name it, wine glasses, coffee mugs. I mean, they have everything, but it's all sustainable, and it's all from wood cutoffs and coconut shells. So typically, if you go into the Amazon, a lot of companies will cut down coconut shells, they cut down coconut and they dispose of the coconut shells. They would literally burn them and just get rid of them completely. Well, Rainforest Bowls, what they decided to do was they take all those wood cutoffs and coconut shells, and they actually create these really great, unique, sustainable utensils. And the cool thing is every single one you get is going to be different because they're all different. I mean, they're all unique. And every single purchase that you make at rainforestbowls.com is going to help a good cause. Year to date, they've planted over 10,000 trees in the rainforest just based off purchases that you guys have made. So congratulations to Rainforest Bowls. Many, many more to come. But if you want a discount, simply visit rainforestbowls.com. Use the code TheBerardo. You'll actually get 20% off your entire order. Okay, without further ado, let's welcome aboard Chris Morgan to the podcast. All right.
I'll try to mute myself when I cough like a maniac. What's up, man?
Dude, what the fuck is going on, bud?
Everything, dude. It's been crazy.
You doing a little tech?
Lots changed since the last time we talked, huh?
Yeah, I mean, even, dude, even the fact
world?
that, the world? Why, is something going on?
I heard.
Why, what's different?
Just less people outside, I heard.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, no, it's wild. I mean, the last time you were on the show, you were in the studio.
Yeah.
And then
the old one.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The old
studio,
condo
the house.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you've been watching some of the other shows, but yeah, it's the studio's coming together, man. She's looking pretty.
Dude, that, and then you're building fucking pizza ovens and shit.
Oh, bro,
It's crazy.
I just fucking tested her out last night for the first time. Oh,
Oh, was it good?
Epic. Yeah. I mean,
Is
the only
smoking bad for the image of your podcast, man? I'm sorry. Look at
no,
thinking
no,
about
it's all good, man. That's what's great about the
Right.
podcast, man. I don't work for anybody. It's awesome.
There you go.
But yeah, no, dude, we ended up testing out the pizza oven yesterday, and it was great. But I don't know how it is down there. But last night and even today, it's like
Chili.
20. Well, yeah, it's chilly, but it's like 25-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh no, we didn't have that.
Yeah. So for me, it's been kind of a challenge, especially with the pizza oven, to actually get it going. Because I got it up, I tested it out the other day at, I think it was like Friday, and I got it up to like almost 700 degrees. The inside.
All are they supposed to get?
How hot? I mean, as hot as you want. That's what's cool. The fire brick that I have in there, it can hold up to 1100.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. That's unnecessary though. I would never. Like even 700 was like, whoa. Like I didn't even cook anything because you know the
face.
Right, cook my face off. But the first time you actually do it, you have to, you know, kind of get it as hot as you possibly can to melt all the chemicals because you know there's high temp mortar mix that
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I put in there. So you got to crank that out for like at least a few hours. So I did that on Friday, which was great. And then of course I wanted to, you know, flame it up yesterday. I had my dad come over. He brought, you know, some homemade dough that he made, and you know we flattened.
shit.
Yeah, we flattened it out. You know, kneaded the fuck out of it. Put on some. I made some fresh marinara with some garlic and basil. Put that on as the sauce, and then a little bit of cilantro on top. Threw it in the pizza oven for a little bit, but the smoke was so bad because of the wind.
Win.
Yeah, and you know I even designed it to where the wind hits the back of it, but the wind was so powerful that it just looped around, hit my house, nailed it. But I mean, it was still edible, but instead of like normally it would stay at 700 for hours, as long as you keep it going, it would peak out at like 400 and then drop down. So
It's not
instead
great
of
for the dough
crispiness,
crispiness.
yeah, got to keep that crispy. So instead of 90 seconds, it took 10 minutes, but
Oh well,
it's still cooked.
yeah, it's still pretty dope.
Yeah, one thing I did realize, and it was very satisfying after I built it, and you know, eating off it because they had like lobster, they brought shrimp, they bought you know, pigs in the blanket. My dad made with his dough, like he went crazy last night. But one thing I did notice though, once you cook it, you know, you spend all this time with the pizza oven, and then after that, that's it. It takes 5 minutes to cook it, but
Done.
yeah, but the wood is gonna stay inflamed for hours. So it's like,
Yeah, wait it out too.
you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to wait it out. So I
You
didn't
never
really
think about that kind of stuff.
I know.
Like this is gonna be great, and then you do it, and you're like, this is great, and then you're like, oh wait, I'm tired. I gotta wait for this. What's gonna? Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like we got my brother-in-law got my youngest son this bounce house for his birthday. It was
Oh,
great.
sick. Yeah.
Super fun. He loves it. But initially I thought it was gonna be like, this is gonna be a pain in the ass
Right.
to put up and take down every time. And it's Florida, so you can't just leave it up because the weather here just destroys everything.
That's right.
Like nothing's weatherproof in Florida. Like it's impossible. So but yeah, it was actually fortunately it's pretty easy to go in and out.
Yeah.
But we took the family and went to SeaWorld yesterday, man. It was pretty dope.
Yeah. I saw that's all. That's kind of another thing with like theme parks. Like, how have they been reacting with everything that's been going on?
I mean,
Are they taking?
Universal's done nothing. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
been gates open pretty much nonstop since the beginning. Disney did reservations for a while. So the one time when we went, it actually was kind of nice. It wasn't that busy at all. But after like a couple months, that went away. And then they take reservations, but it seems just, I mean, it's just as busy.
Yeah.
So I just think it's all kind of like to see the show. And then SeaWorld, they make you put in all this reservation stuff, but then they don't even check it when you get there. But it wasn't super crowded, but Blackfish really just kind of shit all over SeaWorld. So I don't know if they're super busy anytime ever.
Yeah. I mean, last time
but-
we were at SeaWorld, we ended up going to that Christmas thing they do, which is fucking incredible.
Mhm.
And that's usually like, from what I remember, that's like typically one of the busiest times for SeaWorld. And we went, I think the year, was it Christmas? Yeah, I think it was actually the year last year before COVID, because we went, you don't go during Christmas. It would be super busy. But we went like October, November, December, because they have for like 3 months. And we went, it was dead. And that was the first thing that was on my mind was it's probably because of Blackfish. Like how many years have they dealt with?
It hit them. I mean, like it really like the way they changed, like the shows, they changed a lot of the way they did their thing, did it from what I remember when I was young.
Yeah, like the dolphin show, we saw that. That was garbage.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
one was
we
getting
didn't
in
watch
the
the
water.
dolphin show. We watched the orca. No one got in the water for that either. But
Yeah.
they're just so like, they're so big. So it's like, it's still kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
I'm a
awesome.
nerd with that stuff. We
Yeah.
actually, I paid extra so we could pet the dolphins in one of the little areas.
Oh, sick.
Something I want to do since I was like a kid. And so we all
Yeah.
did it. And I was such a nerd. I'm like doing the hand motions and really, I was doing everything for him. Like, this is the greatest day of my life. It was
That's
so
great.
fun, man.
It is
And
kind of
baby loved it.
It is kind of weird, especially like when you're around those big animals like that. Like, have you done Discovery Cove? Where you
No, that's
swim in the Cove?
next.
Yeah. So,
That's next.
like when you
It's
do
like they're super smart. It's like us.
super smart. Yeah.
It's like, I'm just being pulled around this guy who can't communicate with me.
Right.
His name could be Steve. He's just like, the fuck happened to my life? How did I get here? Like, is this their prison?
Yes.
There's
dude.
like, Steve's doing a bid. They're dragging around white kids at Discovery Cove.
Well, that's what's so crazy. Like when you see that type of stuff, and then when you see like, you know, apes in action, and you know, like there's this one page, I forget what it's called, that I follow on TikTok, but they have like a pet monkey. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So he's gone viral, like this fucking monkey, millions of views, obviously. But he'll open up, like he'll get packages, like people will just randomly send this house stuff. And,
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
and he
where he
opens
answers the door
packages.
and shit.
Dude, what the fuck?
Could you imagine being a pizza guy and just being like, wait, what?
Wait, what happened? Well, and
I
not
don't know
only
if I can give this chimp the pizza. Is this
allowed?
yeah, like what the fuck? It's crazy.
And
They say that certain parts of the world that apes are becoming into the Stone Age. They're like starting to use tools
I did hear
and
that.
make shit and doing things like crazy.
Well, and it's more wild that no one's helping.
Mm-mm.
Like this is just like
Just
we're
figured out evolution.
like we're seeing what's happening that happened to us essentially, but
Yeah,
we're seeing it
It's pretty crazy.
in real time.
I wonder if
It's
that's what
nuts.
happened the first time too. Like the first people like watched us develop and they're like, oh, that's crazy. And then,
And they're
and then we
out.
just took over. Yeah. I mean, you find more and more shit every day of like the earth is this much older. We had
Mhm.
civilizations that did all this crazy shit that was, 10,000 years before it's like, what?
That's right.
And it's just buried. You're just like, oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Who
and
knows?
it's even more interesting that like we're starting. I don't know if you've been following the SpaceX and all these guys, like Bezos of the world and stuff. But I had a buddy of mine that she's a NASA engineer, and I had her on the
shit.
show a few
That's
months
dope.
ago. Yeah, and she was just telling me like 2024 is done deal. People are going to be going to
Space
Mars.
travel.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
like 4 years from
fucking
now.
nuts. That's fucking insane.
So when
They say within 20 isn't by the end of this year, the end of next year, that you're going to be able to like travel through like space, like
Yeah.
a plane, like a vacation.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
like
fuck?
Virgin is always like, or they're already
Yeah.
like developing some type of space travel where it's like
It's
a tour.
come on, man.
So you're not actually going into space; you're just going like 30,000
To the-
feet
yeah, like
higher than a plane would. But you're able to go faster because when you go higher, you're able to go faster. It's, I don't know, science, whatever. But that's what's so crazy is we're already on that path, and then on the opposite side of the world, you'd look at like chimps starting to use tools. So
Yeah.
it almost makes you think that Earth has like a shelf life. This is my theory. Earth has like a shelf life of, call it whatever, 10 billion years, right? So we're almost at the end of that, to where apes are starting to evolve and start to
Yeah.
use tools and stuff like that. And then we're going to get to the point where we're going to be able to leave this planet, and everyone's going to leave eventually. And then when we leave, by that time,
I'm riding this bitch out.
yeah, dude. By that time, apes will be
I'm gonna stay.
already on the thing. You staying? You
Yeah.
ain't leaving?
The apes will either adopt me or I'll still be smart enough to control them. I don't know. I'm not leaving.
You're gonna be Will Smith and just be the only one left?
I'd just rather roll the dice here
Yeah,
and
that's
get
true.
somewhere. And what if, dude, Mars? That place looks like bullshit.
I
I
know.
want no part of it.
You see the
Place
new
looks horrible.
you see the new rover pictures and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
crazy.
like fucking Arizona.
It's
The
not
worst part of Arizona that no one lives. That's what Mars looks like. I don't want that.
And dude, I've been to Arizona. My mother lives in Phoenix
Yeah.
now. It's fucking
Me
brutal.
too. It's fucking hot.
It's hot.
Dead. Everything's dead.
And by the way, you can't like you got to wear a mask the whole time. Like there's no oxygen.
Oh yeah, no, it's so hot.
Like, dude, you
Well,
ever
it depends. For me, actually, I do a little better breathing out there
in Mars?
than I do like in Florida. Like the humidity gets to
Oh
me a little
yeah,
more.
yeah.
But what I fucking hate, what you forget about when you go those places, it's like my nose is bleeding immediately. My
Yep.
lips are so dry, like because there's no humidity in the air. It sucks it out of you.
Dude, so true. Yeah, no, that was the one thing when I went to Phoenix, and I think that was the only time I went to Phoenix. Is the second I got back, it looks like I just got done doing like two balls. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucking, I'm bleeding.
Nose is just running. You're like,
It's just
I don't
rocked.
deserve this. I was good. Drove my mom here.
I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but
dude, it's crazy. We're in crazy times. There's things that are happening right now. You're just like, what in the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah,
they're literally just like, hey, there's UFOs. Hey, there's aliens. People are just like, nah. Some people are like, yeah. Like, no, like governments are saying it. Like leaders of governments, heads of governments. And we're just like, what's real? What's fake? Like, not like fake news, not any other stuff. Like, just in real life, like what's real? Like, so are aliens real now? Are they, like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
dude,
all these things of what we talked about when we were kids are all like
that we thought were bullshit.
They're saying it's real. They're like, no, it's real.
Yeah,
and we're just like, nah. Like, what?
Well, dude, and
like,
that's
why are we so dumb?
Yeah, and that's the shitty part, right? Like the shitty part is they're just so cavalier about everything. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so yeah. You guys didn't know? Oh yeah, aliens are real.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like-
forever.
Yeah, well, we've
Oh, you
known.
didn't know we killed JFK? Yeah, dude, we fucking off. You kidding me? Do you know what he stopped us from doing? We wanted to blow up Cuba and he wouldn't let us. We wanted to like make a fucking fake plane. We wanted to shoot it down. We were gonna kill American people.
Yeah.
Totally gonna kill him. He didn't let us do that. We fucking offed him. Sorry.
Epstein? What? No.
Like, this is information that is literally out there. Like it's
public.
It's for real there.
Yeah.
And if you say anything like that, you're like, oh, conspiracy theory guy. You mean I read? And I can't like, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't worry about it too much anymore because I get overwhelmed. You know, like mental health is important to me.
Yeah.
But there's so much shit that you can't control, but like real shit that's happening. And you're just like, these fucking people. And you're worried about fucking Dr. Seuss and Pepe Le Pew being a rapist. You're just like, I mean, yeah.
Oh my God,
Pepe
dude.
Le Pew's always been a rapist. We all knew, hey, you don't do that. And nobody saw that and was like, yeah, that's what you do. That's how you get a girl. Act like Pepe Le Pew. No, it literally showed you like, if you act this way,
you're gonna
never works out.
Yeah,
he
you're gonna
never
get
got
kicked
the
in the
girl.
nuts. Yeah,
never glorified it.
No,
like that guy's a psychopath.
Well, even like Roadrunner and Coyote. Come on, look at that. Like if you chase a cute little bird in the desert, you're gonna get a fucking anvil dropped on your face at least 10 times in the episode. Like, so no one's like harming animals because they know that if you do, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like,
it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Dude, this cancel culture's dude, this cancel culture is getting out of control, bud.
It's just, well, dude, now it's out of control because the fucking companies are canceling themselves.
That's right.
No one canceled Dr. Seuss.
That's right.
No one was like, hey, Mr. Potato Head's fucking bullshit. No, these companies are like, we are failing miserably. What do we do?
Let's be woke.
Hey, throw an idea here, guys. I'm just gonna throw it out.
Yeah.
Cancel ourselves. And it's fucking worked. But
worked.
Mr. Potato Head didn't even change anything.
God,
they just made that announcement. We're like, look, we're just dropping it. I mean, they're gonna look the exact same. We're just not gonna call them Mr. or Mrs. Oh, okay. Well, you should. It doesn't matter. They're fucking potatoes that wear clothes. Like they're not people.
They're not Mr. or Mrs. either way. If anything, you should just call them potatoes and not call them Mr. or Mrs. Yeah.
Fucking what is going on?
Dude, I don't know. Where do you see this thing going? Do you see it getting worse and worse and worse in our lifetime, or do you see it like in 10 years flattening out and,
Maybe not even in 10 years, man, to be honest, like, because it's already like my son's generation, my oldest, Xavier's, he's 17.
That's crazy.
His generation's already over it, dude.
Oh, I bet.
They really are. Like, it's like the shit that I hear his friends say and like how they joke. I'm just like, oh, I mean, you guys are as bad as we are or worse.
Right.
It's like that generation right in between like us and them. Like something happened to those fucking kids, man. Like I don't know what it was. It was like, it was just too easy. Like that time frame
Yeah.
was just too easy. Like we grew up in the 80s, so we had like that nuclear scare.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you like born in like 90, like mid 90s to like what you had the 9/11 attack, like
Right.
and that fucked up everybody. But like, for the most part, I think life was just it's nobody's fault maybe because you just always want, like, I'm a parent. I for sure want to do better for my kids than what was done for me. I mean, what was done
Right.
for me was very little, so the bar is really low.
Right.
But even if it was high, you want to do the same, right? So you take things that you like didn't like as a kid or that you didn't want that maybe were good for you, and you remove them from your kid, and
Yeah.
it makes them just a little bit softer and a little bit softer and that just keeps happening over generations. It's like what's the it's like tough men make easy times make soft men, something like that, some
sounds
phrase
right.
along those lines. But basically what happens is going to recycle. Like
Yeah.
it's the shit's going to collapse, like shit's going to go bad, right? Like we can't just keep like everything's fake, man. What's that NFT things, like non-fungible tokens,
Oh yeah.
where
Yeah.
basically you can fucking you could just clip this right here
Uh-huh.
and be like, sell it, and people are buying it for
Yeah.
fucking thousands of dollars and just moving. It's all just a fucking tax scheme.
It's all
Like
bullshit.
it has to be.
Yeah.
Like you could buy something for $10,000 and then buy 10 more at the exact same price, keep one, donate the other 9, and write it off as $90,000 when you really only paid $3,000 or the $10,000 because you sold off all the other ones to your friend.
Yeah.
Like it's the rich are just like literally like fucking with people. Like all the fucking like Robin Hood, all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
people are like, oh, for the people. Like we're finally like, nope.
Yeah. Everything happened with
2 days.
Barstool and
2
GameStop.
days, they're just like, no, they just fucking
Yeah.
changed the whole stock market rules. Like, fucking idiots. No,
Well,
no.
dude, and for people that don't know, so what we're talking about is we're talking about Robinhood and all those private. I think they were just bloggers, right, on Reddit that just decided to buy a bunch of GameStop stock.
Yeah, they
Flood the
they
market.
bet against it, right? So like,
Yeah.
What these Wall Street guys do is bet against stock that they think is going to do bad,
Sure.
sell it off at a particular price, and then wait for it to crash, buy it back at a much less price, sell off the dividends, and make a bunch of money on the company doing terribly, because them selling off their shares to begin with will send that stock into a downward spiral.
Right.
And then now these days, some of these fuckers have podcasts and they're on shows and they talk about it, and they'll go and be like, this stock is going down, get out now.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay. And that also pushes it down. And then they go back and buy it.
Because you think they're
And
experts.
so it's part of the fucking game.
Yeah.
But as soon as the people were like, oh, you're going to short GameStop. Oh, we're fucking gamers and nerds. We all talk together in the same fucking place. We could stop that. So they just fucked them, because then they bought it. They started buying it. It shot the prices because of demand. And then those people couldn't buy the stock back at that, and they lost billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But it'll never happen again.
No, because they've changed the rules now.
Yeah, they changed the rules immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like, so there's no real fair play. And it's just like, at what point? And I'm not like anti-capitalism. I'm actually, I'm a product of capitalism, that I'm the idiot that thinks like, if I just keep going, it could be me, right? Like if you just keep going, you can be the one doing the fucking instead of getting fucked.
Right.
And like, that's the whole basis of capitalism.
That's the American dream, bud.
But the reality of it is like, we have billionaires blowing up fucking spaceships, planning on going to Mars, trying to go to Mars, wasting billions of dollars every day.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that, dude, haven't worked in a year, have gotten a total of maybe $4,000 from their government, that never had money to begin with before, who have kids who couldn't eat before, that only ate at school, that are having to have school at home. Like all these little things like these, there's no stories of this, but those people exist in the world. I know them.
Yeah.
I was one of those people.
Millions
My sons are
of
friends
people.
with some of those people. And so they're completely like missed. And they're like, here's another $1,600 or $1,400. And it's like, but that rent thing is only good again until June. Then what happens? the shit's gonna fucking like I'm not like one of those people who's like the world's gonna burn down. But like I'm also not a dumbass. Like common
Yeah.
sense, like 1 and 1 make 2 at some point. Like
Well, I mean,
everything's fake.
dude, at the end of the day, there's only certain there's the people, the earth, the planet, the buildings, the businesses, everything's got a shelf life. Like at one
Yeah.
point we're going to crack. And what we're doing with this whole pandemic thing is we're just pushing these businesses and we're pushing people to the limits. And if people can't, have
Well,
income,
it feels calculated, dude.
it totally feels calculated for sure.
It feels calculated. It feels like the government's forcing
But it almost
people
makes you
to
think
rely on them more and more.
but it almost makes you think, okay, so Thanos had an idea to cut the population in half. Like there was an end game there. Like
I have a joke written down
he had an idea.
where I tried to make that funny.
It's not funny.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious. But it didn't go over well in crowds. Maybe it's too soon.
Yeah.
I even had it. I tried to rewrote it again, for like the pandemic purposes, and I was just like talking about how people are out. And I'm like, this is all I've ever wanted in life. Like I'm just hard to pretend
Yeah.
like this is bad. I'm like, the roads are empty. I can get whatever I want from the store. There's not stupid people everywhere.
It's not
I'm
crazy,
like,
right?
we have too many. Like the bottom line is we have too many people on this planet. Like that's what Bill
For
Gates
sure.
and all this other shit. Like they would do. They want to get rid of some of the people.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, it's not amazing. Like, it has to
Yeah.
happen. It's not like it doesn't need to be genocide or whatever. But the earth works itself out.
That's right.
Pandemics, these kind of things, they work themselves out. Like
It just makes you
it
makes
struck
you
a certain
wonder.
amount of people. It
It makes
struck
you-
old people for the most part,
Right.
or people who like you're not like in survival of the survival of the fittest, man. It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
it's Darwin's theory. It's not like that is you're not the fittest. This pandemic wiped out those people.
But it makes you think, though, what is the end game then? If the government's behind it, like, what are they profiting aside from cutting the population in a quarter? Like, what?
Well, I don't think
What's the end
that
game?
they're behind it from that aspect. I think that the pandemic just happened.
Right.
Like I think
but they're
that maybe it was created. Maybe it was created in a lab. It seems like there's a lot of evidence to that. But even if it was just from the wet market,
Yeah.
I don't even think it was released on purpose. I think it was an accident and whatever, it just got out. And what happened. And I think based on the circumstances, opportunities were seized. Like I basically like, this is our chance. Like there's no reason places like California, these things are like hardballing this so strong to just be like completely closed when the CDC saying even see like that's not like we
Yeah, it
didn't
doesn't
want
make any
that.
sense. Right.
The World Health Organization was like, we want you to go like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's it. Like not a whole year. Like, and then when places like Florida have been open almost the entire time for the most part, just wearing masks, and
Yeah.
our numbers are way better than California.
Mhm.
Like it's not even close.
And
We're like
we had
27.
And I don't know if you looked at the research for the Super Bowl. So we had the Super Bowl
Mm.
numbers, and obviously there was only like 20,000 people that showed up because I'm local in Tampa. I thought it was so interesting that we actually had less cases. So everyone was, I think, hoping that we would
Yeah.
get more cases because of it, because then we can.
Yeah, and that's the other thing
You
too.
know.
Is people want it to be fucked up. They're like, do you
So
want people to
strange.
die so you can be right? Like what the fuck? Like what side are you on?
Yeah,
Are you a good person or are you a piece of shit? Like figure it out. I can't deal with it.
it's so strange, and it's even more strange that there's not enough people that see it, because it's blatantly obvious that
No.
even no matter
No.
no matter what state you live in, you have to know, just trying to be objective, you have to know Florida versus California. Humans are the same. We're all the same.
Yeah.
Businesses are the same. People get paid a little bit more here and there. They have better homes and less homes. Yeah. Aside from that, we're all pretty much the same. So we should look around and be like, wait a minute. So why exactly is California not open, but Florida is? Maybe our system's kind of fucked up. But
Well, it's all just
there's not
fucking
enough people
it's
saying that.
team bullshit. It's
Yeah.
literally just because my team says this, my team says that. Like it's
Blue versus red shit. Yeah.
it's really it's so ridiculous, man. Like it's such a for everybody to be so progressive now and to be
Mhm.
so forward thinking, to still be so stuck on I'm a Democrat, so I believe this, or I'm a socialist because I believe this, or like to be sucked and have to put a name to something is just, it's moronic. It really
Yeah.
is. It's so childish. It's such a dumb way of thinking. Like I can't get into arguments with people anymore. Like even if if it's a good argument on your side, if you can't take an unbiased look like and go, okay, like for example, with just like the with Biden bombing Syria again. I sound super right now just because there's more to talk about on the left, but I really just
Right.
lean to whatever makes sense. But all my friends that talked a lot of shit about were like very, very, very much anti-Trump, which I was pretty heavily anti-Trump. Like it's not like
Yeah.
a secret, I think, for people who know me. But I'm also not like, again, he did some good things. Like it's easy to see that. I don't play like a team. I just don't like the way he represented himself. I think a lot of the way he thoughts were wrong. But aside from that, anyway, Obama, we bombed the shit out of Syria. Like the most ever.
Yeah.
Trump comes in, we chill out. Easily chill out. We bomb one or two dudes. We bomb specific people. They lose their shit. You just bombed this leader. We bombed the dude. The one dude who fucked with us, we bombed him. We only hurt the one person.
Yeah.
You're mad we didn't kill a bunch of innocent people? Like, what are you mad about? Oh, it's because it's the blue team or the red team that did it.
Right.
It wasn't my team. And then when Biden goes, I put a post. I'm like, so we're just back to bomb the shit out of people again? I thought the Democrats were like the peaceful side of things. And a bunch of my Democratic buddies were like, well, they shot our base. They did this and they did that. And I'm like, well, none of that's been like fully proven yet. We're very quick to pull the trigger. And we bombed a lot of like innocent people. We didn't bomb a military base. And so I'm like, oh, it's just because. And they're like, and their responses are like, literally like, you're a pussy. Like, oh, so
they have no argument.
So now you're literally doing like the exact same thing that someone who was like pro-Trump and could never admit when Trump did wrong. Like you're the exact same person on the other side. Like I'm like, it's to the point now. I can't have these conversations with people anymore. Like again, mental health stuff. Like it's
hard, dude.
If you can't see how stupid you are,
yeah,
I can't have this argument with you.
Well, and I had a buddy on the show a few weeks back, and he's pretty progressive from New York. Just moved down here, but good dude because he'll hear you out. He's objective and he's actually educated on policy and things like that. And he'll say, hey, Trump had good policy, but I think Biden's a good choice because whether you think this or not, he's going to carry himself differently. And I'm trying to see both sides, right? Sure.
Oh, I do like. Oh, I love the fact that I haven't seen shit about Biden on Twitter. I love the fact that he carries like all those things.
Yeah.
Things are going back to the status quo. The problem is the status quo is just a bunch of grimy shit goes on in the background.
That's correct.
Trump was just very forward facing with it. And so it's hard for a lot of people to eat. And like, I like all of my friends. Like if I didn't like the people who were progressive, like I grew up in Oregon, in Seattle, I'd have no friends.
Yeah.
I am very progressive, man. I really am. I'm very progressive on thoughts of racial equality, people like personal rights, independent right, like all those things, man. But it's not to the point of complete disregard for the other side and other people's feelings of things. Right. There's different people got to live here in this country, and it's to have it like you're on this team or you're on this team, it's ridiculous, man. And if you say that now, it's not even the problem is now it's not even good enough to just not be Republican or something like that. Is if you won't like denounce Republican, like you're anti, and it's like this is ridiculous. I'm like I just think things through, man. Like that's
Well, and again, it's like it's one of those things where religion and politics kind of have these same type of characteristics in conversation, because you can't tell someone who's hardcore Christian or if they are Muslim or whatever their religious belief is, it's hard to make them understand that it's possible that they're incorrect.
Yeah, you can't you can't do that.
It's so difficult to have those conversations.
That one's a little bit. I have a weird maybe outlook on that one from my perspective because I feel it's a little bit different because that's a faith-based scenario. So like for me, like I grew up chaos. Like you kind of know my background,
right?
And I wasn't raised religious really, from like a family's perspective, but I went to church always with my friends. And one of the things that got me through a lot of the bullshit, like after my mom dying and all that, when I was a kid, was God never gives you more than you can handle. And for
Hmm.
whatever reason, I kind of held on to that,
That's stuck. Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
and it helped me a lot through things. But I eventually moved to Tennessee as like a teenager. My family there was very into church. I started going to church, 3 times a week, Wednesdays, usually twice on Sunday. Becoming very involved, and I'm very inquisitive. I had a lot of questions, and the more I questioned things, it just would irritate people, like because things that just didn't make sense, things that add up. Like I'm
Of
like,
course.
for real, man. Like 2 of every animal on a boat, like really?
Exactly, too.
Because I'm like, could that maybe be like can miss like written to see something else? Like, and
Yeah.
there's just no give, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
okay. And then eventually, man, in like my mid 20s, late 20s, um, I was like, this is dumb. I'm not wavering anymore on one thing or the other. Like, I just don't believe. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's it. And dude, I've always had this luck that's like really up and really down. And it kind of eventually just figures out a way to even itself out, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like go through some really bad stuff, go through some really positive stuff, and it balances. Well, all the positive stuff stopped happening.
Hmm.
And I was applying for Groupon at this time. And it's when Richie and I were in the business, and we kind of finally sold all the last bit of that shit. And
Yeah.
I was actually traveling from South Florida to like other offices and helping kind of run, but I was still interviewing Groupon the piece, and I was just like, everything had gone bad. Dude, my car broke down, the business went to shit. Like there's just one thing after another, after another, after another.
Yeah.
And literally, like at this point, I was just sitting there as I'm interviewing Groupon. I was in my brain. I had like it was like auditory, which sounds ridiculous, but it's a personal thing. It could who knows what it is.
Sure.
But it was like, hey, dum dum, and I was like, oh, and it hit because people always told me when I'd have these questions, I'm like, how do I know if I'm saved, or how do I know if God's real? And like, because everybody talk about this experience, I'm like, I never had an experience. I'm like, so how do you know? And they'd always just say, you'll just know. And for me, that's how I just knew, like, the absence of whatever God is or whatever, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
I don't know if I fall in line, because again, logically, some of the Bible is nonsense, but the feeling, that faith, that can't, as logical as my brain is, as much as I want to even push it away, that won't go anywhere. So from like that's like, I understand like why we
I'm with
don't
you.
talk politics and religion,
But we should, though.
and for sure you can't tell
Yeah.
a Christian, like you can't tell a Christian or a Muslim or anybody different, like most of the time
They're set in their ways.
it's all
Yeah.
or none, right? Like it's just
Right.
that they're the same as politics. It's all or none.
That's right.
And that's where like it's usually the same kind of people. I just have like again with that personal on that one. I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah. And dude, listen, man, that's fucking beautiful. It's a great story.
But
but
yeah,
you
these
know,
fuckers are crazy.
but here's the point though to that is that's exactly right. Is your team God, whatever team you are, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're a different breed of human, because I feel like you can have a constructive conversation with someone who's Christian or Catholic or Muslim or atheist, doesn't matter.
Well,
You
yeah,
can-
because I don't know what God is, right? Like,
right. And you know, let's keep in mind there's a difference between faith and religion.
yeah, exactly.
That's the
Very
problem that people don't have, because I have faith,
Very, very true.
but I don't believe in religion.
Yeah, very
same
true.
thing. Same thing with I have faith in humanity, but I don't believe in politics. So there's very distinguishing arguments that, you know, I don't. It's not that I don't. I'm more of a agnostic atheist, that I don't necessarily say that I'm atheist or you know, I don't not believe in God. I just don't know. And
Yeah.
just like I don't know that there's, you know, is there aliens out there? I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
But, you know, for someone to say absolutely no way in hell there's aliens, that to me is a person that is the same type of person that you can't have a constructive conversation with.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be less of that. And especially with everything going on, man, like, you know, remember these are all the same folks that 30 years ago when we were kids, we asked if there was other people out there in the stars, and our parents looked us dead in the face and said, absolutely not. It's because they were told, no way, it's not possible. But now we're starting to see that it is possible. So our conversations with our kids and other humans, they have to change, because we're evolving and we're ever learning. And, thanks to
It's-
phones and social media, I mean, dude, there's no way to lie.
How are we getting dumber though? That's the thing.
We are getting dumber.
We
It's
have
so
all this.
crazy.
How are we getting dumber now?
We know
have
more.
all these things to communicate better. We have more information at the touch. I mean, this. Like, I don't get it. When I was a kid, I wanted to know shit so bad sometimes.
Yeah.
And I
You could-
listened to so much bullshit. You know how many lies I was told as a kid? Oh my God.
Well, dude, we used to get educated off of music. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of how I learned a lot of stuff. I learned that my parents wouldn't ask is, the music, the 9 Inch Nails of the world, the Korn, I was alt rock and heavy metal, Bush, and
Bro, if
the
you didn't have
11.
I lived in rural Oregon until we got Walmart. I couldn't even go buy a CD. It was just fucked up.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It was different. It was for real different times.
you're just loaning.
And these people have all this information and they just choose because I think what's happened is because there's so much information, true and untrue, that people have just decided that they're going to believe whatever makes them feel the best. And I think that's the problem. And they will defend it to death. And they don't care if they're being lied to. They don't care about any of it. This is my team. This makes me feel good. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point.
Crazy.
That's a good point. Maybe there's too much information out there.
Yeah, I think it comes back to that's why again I can even have conversations where you come back to look at if you take communism or social let's say communism for China, for example.
Love me some communism. Go ahead.
Dude, if at its core, right, it just wants everybody to be equal and have enough.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that you can't, people are fucking dog shit.
Right.
And so anybody that gets in power is not going to do the right thing. And they're not, you know what I mean? It's like this impossibility. It's like grandioso. And it sounds crazy, oh, communism is great. I'm not digging all into the course of it, but the crux is, I don't want that.
It's not that
it's
different.
not possible. I think that capitalism is the best chance for unfallible, but even now, unless they start changing some of the voting laws, we're being run by companies instead of Putin.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's different forms of communism, right? One could argue that Russia and China and us were, aside from democracy, there's a lot of similarities in the way our governments run. And, we don't really necessarily have control over probably 95% of the government. That 5% is that little bullshit every 4 years we vote on our president, and every 2 years we vote on our, whatever, and governors and mayors. And we kind of have the say so in that. But again, you live in California, you live in New York. That's when my buddy moved from New York that I was just telling you about down to Florida, is because he had to leave because, he works for himself. He's an independent photographer and videographer. So he couldn't walk around on the street.
This is crazy up there right now.
Yeah, he couldn't go to restaurants. He couldn't. I mean, it wasn't as bad as maybe some of the media companies.
But a lot of that's our fault. It's a lot of there's this dope. Dude, it's so hard, right? Because I even look at from the let's look at the police. We went through so much in this last year, right? So the police brutality piece.
Right.
I'm very anti that. Super, super anti that.
Yeah.
I didn't protest, but sounds dumb when you say you almost did, but I'm a married man with 2 kids. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen out there, and I don't really want to jeopardize my family or life for anything.
Right.
But
which, by the way, side note on that's a problem when you can't even do a peaceful protest. That's crazy.
I know.
Which is true,
But actually but to be honest, here in Orlando, we did. Everything we had was peaceful. There was no issues at any of our stuff. I was really proud, especially being from Florida. We did it right.
Orlando's changed a lot, especially since polls and everything like that. It was a little heavy on the police side. But that's, I think, part of why ours stayed peaceful. It's a double-edged sword. Part of the reason I think ours didn't get too far out of control is because even the peaceful protests, they had a curfew. Cops were there throwing tear gas, right at curfew. Mm-hmm. If you tried to go down this way, they were like, nope, go that way. And then they perch you right into the tear gas. So they want you to experience it. So maybe the next time you're less likely to go out there. Yeah.
But there's a double-edged sword to it, man. Police brutality is terrible, but also waking up every day, not knowing if you're going to come home. Like there's added pressures, there's added things that normal person couldn't ever imagine. It's impossible to put yourself in those shoes. But I think if that they would just hold the bad ones accountable, right? If the ones that did so bad at their job, even if they weren't hateful, but they're bad. Like if you just kill someone like that, you're if you're not racist or hateful, you're fucking as bad as you can get. And unfortunately, you're in a position that if you're that bad, it could cost someone their life. Like if a doctor's that bad, it could cost him his license, his career, and his whole everything.
That's right.
So if you're an officer, you're that bad, like there needs to be real consequences.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, this is sort of protocol, kind of like, and then people will be okay with it because we need police. We need law and order. We're not capable of governing ourselves in masses.
No.
There is literally zero evidence of that through history. People are fucking nuts. They're animals. And when you put them in wild, like if you put them all in group, we're all going to act crazy because that's what, like, it's just.
Well, dude, look at what happened in, where was that at? Was it Portland? That little city that they started?
No, that was in Seattle.
Or that was Seattle.
Yeah, that was Seattle.
That's a perfect example of like.
Or was it Portland? Shit, actually, I don't know.
Do you remember what it's called? I don't remember what it's called. It was like a weird name.
I did. But dude, that shit melted down immediately. There's someone like robbed and murdered in there in like 2 days. It was crazy. But they just let it go. But it's not gonna get better, man. Like these officers, dude, they're fucking like now their job is already hard. Most of them aren't bad. And now everybody hates them. And you're just like, dude, you're making the job impossible. The ones that stay, if we're lucky, and then, dude, I'm working with law enforcement now. Not in law enforcement, but I'm working with law enforcement officers a lot just recently. And one of their biggest problems is recruiting now. Like, who's going to be a cop? Nobody.
No one wants to be one because you don't want. Yeah, you don't want.
Already home now.
Yeah.
Shit, you'll get disowned. Your friends will hate you. Like it's crazy that you've done like. I mean, some of they've done to themselves. It's again, it's hard to like. I go back and forth because if it was handled better or handled right from the beginning, like it would have never gotten this far.
Yeah.
But they can't be held accountable for it either. Cause like, even if you take it from like a racist thing, it's systemic, like the systemic racism, it's down from the system. It's built from the system up. So even if you're a cop that's not racist, that works in a system that is racist, you're going to come across as racist at some point too. You think, I mean,
hey, side note,
know, man, it's a really tough thing.
Hey, so for people watching on YouTube, so I pulled this up. So police clear Seattle's protest. Yeah. Autonomous zone. Yeah. It was Capitol Hill organized protest. So they called it COPA, right? Or I think it was COPA maybe? COPA.
No, it
was right after
Anonymous?
George Floyd, but it was definitely in Seattle.
Yeah.
Protest area. Yeah. CHOP maybe? I don't remember.
COPA.
Chop?
It might have. It was something like that. It was like a 4-letter.
I remember it was Chaz.
Chaz, there it is.
The city of Chaz. Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
People were probably watching this. They probably said Chaz like 5 minutes ago. You're like, you dumb motherfuckers.
You fucking idiots. You've been calling everybody stupid this whole podcast. You can't even remember his name, Chaz.
But dude, what's weird is they called. So if you look at Chaz, it says the first thing that pops up is Capitol Hill Occupy Protest, but that's not how you spell Chaz though. Chaz means. Yeah, Chaz means as a masculine given or nickname derived from the short form of Charles, abbreviated Chaz. Interesting. But yeah, dude, that's again.
Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, Chaz.
That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, to that point with police, you know, there was a really cool podcast I was listening to where they kind of talked about different countries and how they don't have militias and, you know, how they do. And it's interesting how we handle things, because how we handle things is we give people the most dangerous jobs or the most difficult jobs, but we don't pay them
Least
enough.
amount of
So
money.
yeah, so they're not motivated. I mean, you look at like teachers, firefighters, cops, like all these
Or they're
motherfuckers.
motivated to do the wrong shit with the
Right.
power you give them. Hey, here's a whole bunch of power and no money.
That's right. So why aren't
Be
we looking
good.
at things like paying our governors less and our mayors less and all these fuckers that barely do shit and bringing that to the local folk?
Bro, fuck less. Nothing.
That's just crazy.
Nothing. Dude, if you're for the government, like the Senate, you're a congressman, you're one of those people. Nothing, dude. I'm sorry.
That should
You
be a
should make any
volunteer
money.
basis. Yeah.
It really should.
And
It
by
should
the
be
way,
it should be an elected position.
yeah,
Because there's enough power hungry people that'll want it. And if you want it, do it. But you gotta do it for the love of the game, man.
that's right.
Because it comes even with no money, it comes with so much benefit.
Dude, I got I don't even know how many. I want to say like 7 or 8 people on my HOA. All volunteers, and everybody's lawn's fucking gorgeous. They're doing something
yeah.
right. So if the HOA can do it on a volunteer basis, the government could do it too. We don't need so many fucking people running things. And you know what's even
You
more
guys should
crazy?
Buy, ad plug, but the company I'm working with, they sell the HOAs too, but they're a camera system that takes license plates.
Oh,
And
really?
they're like cheapest and like the cheapest and the best. And it's like great software, everything. It's $2,500 a year.
Are they
But yeah,
cheap?
like you could plug in your neighborhood's license plates,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll let you know whoever's in the neighborhood. And if any car that comes in that's out of the neighborhood, you can do that. You don't have to do it. Plugged in. There's like all kinds of like, basically they don't want your privacy. So there's all kinds of privacy laws that we put in place for ourselves. But
they're the best.
it's really good.
Are they the
They, like,
best in all the land?
They're low on camera. Like, dude, they're low on crime rates. Like, really, really, it's impressive, and it's exciting to be like working with them.
That's pretty tight, man. Yeah, I mean,
because then like the police, I saw the police side.
Right.
There's a team that sells to the
other side,
like residential neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the police can access those cameras too, and like they'll knock out a crime like this.
That's crazy. See, that to me is a interesting and kind of a cool, different way.
It's scary and cool.
Well, it's scary, but yeah, it's definitely cool. But again, everything we do, man, is kind of scary. Like the shit that's going on. What I find so interesting, especially you see what's happening with all these different states and stuff and everyone moving and getting out where they don't like. It's so funny how like there's so many people in charge of like a state. We're picking on California because they're the redheaded stepchild right now. But California is kind of stuck in this situation where they fucked themselves and it's getting worse and worse by the minute. But what's even more crazy, there's so many moving parts to make those decisions. And the president of the United States has zero pull to make those changes. And that to me, if I'm just being objective, whether you believe blue or red, or if you don't even know anything about politics, that's something wrong. Something's wrong in the system where if no matter what president is there, if they say, hey, California, get your shit together, this is what you need to do, the state could be like, nah, we're good. We're going to do our own thing. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that.
I like it and I don't. I kind of see it. I think for me, it's more wrong that the people that created the laws that made it so shitty are the ones that are fucking able to bail out and move.
Right.
And the ones that were just really a victim of whatever the fuck that the system put in front of them are the ones that are stuck there dealing with it.
Yeah.
That shit like that is what bothers me more than the other. But from like, because I think the states' rights thing, there's positives of it too. Sure. Because just the same as if the like Biden wanted to shut down the country and our governor's like, man,
fuck you, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's
pros
and
one of those
cons.
Things where
sure.
It's one of those things where it's like freedom of speech right now, like is really being tested because they don't want people saying crazy things. And there's times where you want to agree with them, right? You're like, I don't need to hear that again. I really don't. And I don't like that way of thinking. And I think that anybody that thinks that way probably shouldn't exist, but they do, right? And I'd rather know who they are and them be allowed to say what they are so I can identify them and stay away from them or whatever it may be.
Well, it's like it's like the same example.
So I'd rather just have the free speech. So it's like you got to take the bad with the good.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's
Well,
tough.
well, it's the same thing with like, social media and canceling people. We talked last time, I think you're on, where we were talking about people getting canceled by Twitter and all this shit. And, it's kind of the same thing where you don't want, once you start canceling people, there's a weird line. Like, if anything, you should allow everyone to say their own stupid thoughts, because then us individual people can do our own research and look through all the bullshit and see the right information. But when you're only feeding me one side of things, that's where it gets kind of squirrely.
Well, yeah, it's because you can look. I mean, there's so many times of like evidence with these news stations where they just show you like clip after clip after clip of different news stations saying the exact same thing in cadence and all this crazy stuff. Like, there's more than enough evidence out there to show that like the media definitely wants to manipulate you to do certain things, and people just don't want to, like, they either don't want to accept it. It's like too hard for them, or they just don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's probably the latter. Yeah.
Like, I think what's going to happen, man, is, or I hope it doesn't happen, but I think what'll probably, or what'll need to happen to maybe really change is like failure, man, like complete loss. Like, that's, if people are just comfortable enough, they're never going to like challenge. Like, even like the riots and the stuff that happened this summer, like, no one really cared, man. It was just something to do because people were bored. Like, some people really cared. Like, no, I don't want to come across wrong, but the reality of it is, it was like a perfect storm. And so a lot of that was, if those people at normal times had jobs and stuff like that, they don't care that much. They're not out there. There's just a lot of grandstanding, and being a victim now is a cool thing. Like, it's cool to be a victim. It's cool to, like, you see all these people now, there's like, let me tell you my story. I mean, we've heard a lot of stories. I
think we're good on stories. We're good.
We're keep it. Like, bad shit happens to everybody, man. Like, just, I mean, maybe not everybody, but for the most part, like, I don't know. But if we just keep trying to silence everybody, it's going to lead to more people like Trump, which is going to lead to more, like, and then it's going to get worse. It's what leads to people like Hitler, dude. It really does. Like, it sounds so exaggerated, but if you start vilifying and silencing one side, no matter what it is, even if the shit's stupid. If it's stupid, usually people will be like, oh, this is dumb. But if it's stupid and you keep shutting it down, like, you keep shutting their stupid shit down, like, boom, 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 you're just giving them ammo and going like, see. I don't know why I gave it a southern accent, but
that was so prejudiced of you to do that.
They don't want us to know the truth. They keep taking it off the internet. They say they don't want us to know the truth. God damn it. No, man. Let them see the truth. Let them put their stupid articles up, and then just have the rebuttals. Like, here's what actually happened. Here's 47 articles that say something different. But let them find what their truth is. Like, you're creating dude, it's great. Like, I saw a hashtag trending now. It's called Super Straight. Where
Super Straight.
Like, basically it's like dudes that only like girls who were born girls.
No.
Identify as super straight.
Come on.
And you're like, that's ridiculous.
It's not that far-fetched, though. But
that same dude by the other side would get called transphobic because he doesn't want to date or have sex with someone that was married to a man that became a woman.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen some of them are beautiful.
Some of them are. Dude, just hold on. First of all, call it like it is. Some are pretty hot.
Dope hard. Like, there's no gray area. With or without dicks. Some of them are fucking slamming. There's no
smoking,
And dude, and it's some of them, it's so, like, some people, it's so very clearly they were born the wrong person.
Right.
Like, it's dope. Be who you are. I fucking love it. I really do. I love anybody that could, like, have the self-confidence, the love of yourself to, like, fully go through and be who you are, and then to be accepted and be like, you should be accepted for that. You should be loved for that. But just the same way as you don't want someone to tell you can't be who you are, you can't tell someone else you can't force someone else to love you now.
Right.
Like, that's not fair. That's
fair.
where the line has to come. Like, you can't do that.
Well,
you can't just be like, you hate me because you don't want to fuck me. No, I don't want to fuck Tony. I don't
Right.
hate Tony.
That's right.
Like, come on, man.
I mean, it's a good point. I mean, and you know, you're making these people, or you're making everybody rather change not just their belief system, and you know, because now there's a difference between, and I think here's the distinction: is there's a difference between gay and transgender. We know this,
Yeah.
but the difference, I personally think, this is just my opinion, so everyone can hate on me if they want, but when you have to change your body to be something else, I get the whole I've been a boy, I've been a girl inside. That to me makes total sense, and you could be how you want to be, but you can't make up words. Like, we've done enough of that, I think, but you can't change everything that we know as human beings, which is there's male and female. You know, my wife even showed me. My wife even showed me this TikTok video where there was this dude that was, I don't know if he was transgender or a guy or girl, I don't know, but I guess someone asked. You know how you can ask questions on TikTok,
And he got mad, or they got
well,
mad.
yeah, because someone asked this person, male or female, and the guy responded back not with the answer, but they responded back, "Why does it matter? You're stereotyping."
Oh, you can get kicked off. You can get kicked off social media for
called
misgendering somebody
Fucking
or
dead naming, yeah.
yeah,
But again,
crazy.
it's nuts. Like,
But
but dude, male or female,
I'm
or
even honestly, dude, I don't even care how much about all that. If you want me to call you something, I'll call you whatever, as long as I know. Like, you gotta. I mean,
But then
when there's
now-
a bunch of new stuff, I
yeah.
don't always know.
But dude, now we're in
Or
this
if you're
weird.
like, if you're teetering on the line of like guy
Right.
and girl, like you're a Pat. Throwback to our, you're a
I love Pat. Yeah,
It's Pat.
it's Pat.
You can't get mad at somebody if they're wrong.
Right. But
like,
dude,
I
that's
don't want
the
to
thing.
offend somebody, but
Listen, now
from
we're
a biological standpoint,
yeah.
you can't argue. Like, you're born a male, you're born a female. There's a few
Yeah.
exceptions from like, biological stuff.
Hermaphrodites and things like that.
If you want to be a girl, or if you want me to call you a girl,
you
want
got to tell me.
Okay, sure, man, no problem.
You got to tell me. Like, dude, if your name is Morgan, and you want to be called Morgan, I'm going to call you Morgan. Yeah. Okay, whatever. But if I accidentally call you Chris, because I'm told that's what your name, yeah, like, you can't lose your shit, dude. Like, if you're
not because that's what I was told. If I accidentally call you Chris because I've called you Chris for the last 30 years,
and then you want me to
changed
call
your name to Morgan fucking 2 years ago, sorry, dude, my bad.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, or again, if you're close, like, it's hard sometimes. But if you don't need to tell me if you look like a girl. Obviously, you look like a girl. I'm gonna try to call you a girl. I'm not gonna be like, "What's up, bro?" I'm not trying to piss people. Like, I don't piss people off in general. Like, I just don't care enough. Like, it doesn't. As long as you're not like. The only thing I think that affects where I think that it's bullshit is with the athletic side of it right now. Like that, I'm sorry. Like, it's
that's crazy.
It's nonsense. Like, if you guys want to do something different and create another avenue of sport that anybody can play,
it's a great idea.
Guys, girls, and whoever, make everything co-ed and have that opportunity. I think that there's a lot of people, guys and girls, that would like that.
We would support that. Everyone would.
They play in that, and that's fine. Like, it might be an undertaking, right? Like, it might take works for school systems or something in place. But if we're going to put it in place as a legislation, right? Like, it's legislated. It's a legislation. I have a hard time with L's right now.
Legislation.
But it's a legislative or executive order or something now at this point, right? Like,
I think
that they're allowed to play.
Yeah.
But this is again where one of those states things come play, was where states could say no. And I think maybe Kentucky or something is trying to do that or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I heard a state or two that saying no, and then people are getting mad. But I don't think it's people are getting mad. It's just the people who don't want to say anything are saying nothing because they don't want to get shit on. And the ones that are pro that are noticeably very loud.
And they're doing it
the loudest voice.
But they're doing it for the wrong. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. People are being loud.
It's inarguable, man. Like, it's really inarguable to be like, that dude is now a girl, is now going to go play with the girls, and everything's fine. Like, there's absolutely zero evidence of that, and it's every ounce of evidence is exactly to the contrary.
Right.
And it's gonna affect young girls. It's gonna like it's such an attack on feminism. Like I can't understand why more feminists aren't like bothered by it. Like there's such a loud group. Like, how are you guys not bothered by this?
Well, dude, that's what I was gonna say. Is like women
Like,
in
white males
general.
are just taking over everything.
Yeah, like women in general should be super pissed about this because everything that happened with that UFC fighter, forget her name, or she wasn't UFC. I think she might have just been MMA, but she was right, and she was transgender, was a guy for 30 years,
How many people?
and then she just decided to switch over to the women's league and beat the shit out of women. Like, why is not every woman on earth that's educated on this subject be super pissed about that? Because I had a daughter,
society's told them it's not okay to feel that way.
That's right. That's right.
Is it like it's not? I mean, it's unfortunate, but that is what it is. Like,
Right.
there's not like normally you can't feel. That is a very hard thing to change, right? Like to change that within society, right? Like look how long it took for like gay people to be accepted. Like it took a long time. Look for like transgender is still working. Like it takes time for a lot of these things for some people, just because I mean, there's people that are still alive that that didn't share water fountains, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at the black community.
Those people,
they're
those
still
people are
dealing
still
with bullshit.
alive.
Right.
Oh, well, they're still dealing with bullshit, but also within the black community, they're super like openly prejudiced against what we're talking about right now. Like
that's right.
Being gay in the black community is not a super like excited. Yeah,
right.
It's not really a big good thing.
They're not into it. Yeah.
This transgender, all this others, like it's not. They're like no. Like
we ain't having
it's so, you know what I mean? And so it's immediately like people don't think about it, but like there's a lot of black people who are very conservative.
Oh yeah.
In terms of their beliefs, with their like from a religious belief, from a religious standpoint, all those things. And so the Democrat is going so far this way. That's why like more minorities voted, I think, for Trump this round than they did before.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy within itself, because I mean he seems to be pretty openly racist. Like, it's not like he really like from the core of what he started, like he seems to be pretty openly racist.
Right. Or he just doesn't use critical thinking skills to actually think about what he's about to say.
I mean, it's probably both.
Yeah.
The reality of him being like not racist is really probably less than any like. If you look back to like even just like renting his properties and all that stuff, but just even like if you just took like 100 super rich white guys,
right,
90% are going to be racist-ish.
Yeah, they're going to be
today because of technology racist, but
they're going to be
a lot of that old money, like those older white dudes. They're just going to be racist. Like everybody's in politics. Joe Biden's racist. Get the fuck out. Like they are. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. Maybe Bernie Sanders isn't. Bernie Sanders is not.
There's
racist.
No way Bernie Sanders is racist.
Boom. Sorry.
Jesus.
That fly's been taunting me this entire thing. And I just got him in my hands like Miyagi style.
Epic. Where's the chopsticks?
That was aggressive and I apologize, but
it's okay, bud.
Yeah,
but I mean, you're right.
They are.
Politics in general, man. They're just they're all racist. And that's another issue, right? Is, they're telling us what we should believe in with everything
they don't believe.
That they don't even believe. And that's what's even more crazy is people aren't walking the walk.
These people on the left fucking they literally said defund the police and then voted in the queen of the police and we're like, yes, bitch, slay.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Harris 2020.
What? Like,
nuts.
And again, I hope they do a great job. I really like them. This is not I hope that they do 10 times better than Trump. I hope our country turns around completely. I want all the good things.
Yeah.
This is not like a anti-Democrat. Well, it's anti like maybe the extreme Democrat, but I'm also very anti the extreme Republican. I think I'm just anti the extremes. But that just doesn't make sense.
No.
Like you just allowed them to lie to you. She literally created the 3-strike rule. She literally has like admitted talk shit and laughed about smoking weed and has put people and ruined people's lives for minor drug charges. while the average pedophile gets like fucking 5 years or some shit. It's
Crazy.
insane.
Crazy.
And you know why? Most pedophiles tend to be wealthier white men. Go figure. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm really like, I lean like, it may seem like Republican most of this conversation, but when it comes to stuff like that, like, I'm not, and like, there is systemic racism. There is things that have been built into our country to like really
sure.
fuck things up. There is a lot of that stuff happening, and
No
there's so
doubt.
many people who are just like, no, they don't, and they just don't want to admit it. But I think some of it's because they're being like openly called racist or whatever because they don't think exactly like them, and then it's just like people are immediately going to push back to shit like that.
Yeah.
You start calling people names or start telling people they're stupid or start doing, they're always going to push back to that. So even if like someone was like teetering on just like, maybe they're not racist, they're just ignorant, they're going to become racist if you keep calling them that.
Well, dude, you ever like tell your wife, calm down? It's the same thing.
No,
I
don't.
No.
I don't do that.
I've called
I've actually never done that.
I've said that to my girlfriend, and that was it. That was the last time.
Yeah.
Not with her
I was
anymore.
Colombian. And,
Not okay.
Also, and I'm usually the hot-headed one.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? Like if whether you go to name calling or tell someone to cut, they always do the opposite of what you do.
Yep,
So if you
every
say
time.
calm down, everyone's gonna blow up. If you call that person a bitch, they're gonna call you a cunt. Like it's just we're so angry by nature, and that's the government you could see is capitalizing on that type of stuff, and that's why I think it's important we all just kind of form our own opinion and just don't. The government shouldn't be, in my personal opinion, whether you believe in left or right. I'm more like in the middle, but I lean a little bit more towards right, I guess. But like, you know, I just think their hands are in so many different. Yeah,
but there's too much.
Well, there's too many things that their hands in.
Well, dude, I think even more now, like their hands is in everything, but I really think they are just controlled by like a few corporations. Like you think about like even when we were kids, they broke up like several companies. Like I remember like Bell and like a few other like those major companies where they like had these monopoly laws and like broke up these companies.
Yeah, they had to.
That's not happening anymore. Like there's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, dude, something
it's the
happened.
opposite.
Yeah,
They buy a big company buys a bigger company every day, and they just become bigger and bigger. So it's like 5 companies run everything.
Well, dude,
It's
now there's
fucking
only now it went from 15 cell phone companies to now there's only like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So something happened 10 years ago, 20 years, some in between.
Dude,
something happened.
Fucking what's that law where it allowed these companies to start putting in those super PACs and like just giving politicians billions. Like from there, like you can look at it from there. Like once that started, like we were fucked.
That's it. Game on. And now
that's when we lost all power.
And there's gonna be no way to reverse that anytime soon.
Well, no, that goes back. It would be not difficult. Like that's a pretty easy law to overturn that no one has.
I don't know.
What? Yeah, just bring it right back to what it used to be. $2,500 limit for everybody. That's it.
Yeah, but how would we do that though?
I mean, you have to track a campaign. You have to track your funds on your campaign, where it comes from. You have to track your donations through IRS. Yeah, I mean, some people could be grimy about it, but then at least if you're grimy about it, you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk of exposing who you are. Right now, you could just openly be a piece of shit, buying people and do whatever you want.
But
and
who
we're just
would,
like,
who would make sure? Who would make sure those politicians do it though?
What do you mean?
Like you're talking about grabbing money?
Politician, dude, as a person.
You mean if we all collectively come together?
If we just demanded like,
right,
hey, we want this politician of our governor or our senator or whatever to present this, like, because it was added. It was a piece that was added. It wasn't like forever in our Constitution. So it could be reversed.
But that's the problem.
And then we just vote. We vote based on that. Like if people voted based on what we really wanted versus, well, we're just going to vote what's best for our team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's hard. That's hard to do. To get people out of that way of thinking of like Team Blue and Team Red is like, that's why there's no independent.
But that's something that should be, that's a bipartisan issue.
It should
Nobody
be.
on either side should be okay with that.
Bro, everything is a fucking bipartisan issue. It should be.
Should be.
It should be. Like, why is it that that
There's
if
certain things that are fundamentally people just disagree on, like abortion and shit like that. But
yeah,
for the most part, yeah.
but again, like I don't like abortion, but I think sometimes you might need an abortion.
Yeah, no, I do too. I'm the same way. Like, here's the thing. I think that people should be able to do whatever they want with their body.
Right.
I really do.
Why is that part of
But
government policy?
The other side of it, those people really do believe you're killing a baby.
Sure.
They believe that with all of their heart and soul.
100%.
So I also understand why they're pretty anti it.
Yeah.
Like,
You get it. But why
I
is
don't
that?
think they should be out in front of. I don't think they should be out in front of abortion clinics
Yeah.
screaming at people. But if you believe that someone was really murdering babies,
Right.
you probably should at least stand outside of it and scream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And you're
if
okay
was
to
what
do
you
that.
think- yeah, if you think that that's what abortion
Yeah.
is murdering babies, that's probably it's like the I think it was Tim Dillon. I heard it on or something, and he was saying, like, I don't remember what podcast, but they were basically saying, like, if you believe what the people who rushed the
Capital.
the Senate, whatever the Capitol,
Yeah.
if you believe what they believe, like truly, like the QAnon nonsense that they're actually like
Right.
murdering, kids and child sex traffic rings and all that, and you really, really, at the bottom of your heart believe that, like, you should have been there then. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if I thought that, like, if I really thought that,
You'd be there.
bro,
Yeah. Of
you
course.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
But
that
here-
would be like, we can't let this happen. These motherfuckers. I would try to do everything in my power to quit that from happening. But
Bro, here's the thing though.
I'm not retarded.
Right.
I
Well,
mean, I wouldn't. Well,
that
unless I don't know.
that and if it's illegal, you can protest all you want, but if you really believe that babies are being murdered by someone having an abortion, it's okay to protest that. But if the law is, hey, if it's your body, you could do what you
Yeah.
want,
You gotta let it be.
then you gotta let it be. You can't be violent. It's okay to protest. No different than storming the Capitol building. Is it illegal to storm the Capitol building and beat the shit out of police officers? Yeah, then okay, you
Kill
shouldn't be
something.
storming the Capitol building.
Crazy.
Nuts. But that's the weird thing, man, is people just don't, they got to get away from the team and they just got to get to common
They also
sense.
got in real easy.
Kind of eerily easy.
Way, way easy. Dude, are we able to pause this? I gotta pee real bad.
Oh, yeah, pause. Me too. Good call.
Sweet.
Bio break.
Awesome. Pee. Couldn't stop. I was like, oh.
Dude, mine was aggressive. Yeah, that was long. I'm surprised we didn't go earlier. What are we on now? Oh, we're at like 120 minutes or 120
Shit.
minutes? What? An hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, dude, we won't go as long as we did last time. I think the first one was 3 hours. That was
Wow, we
aggressive.
fucking Joe Rogan'd it.
Yeah, we did. But the wife's probably gonna kill me, and I'm sure wife's gonna kill
Oh, dude,
me
my
too.
wife, dude, the eyes. just, no, for real. She was like, how long is your pee break? I was like, long enough to go pee, I think, maybe. Well,
Dude, I'm giving you a
Please.
break from the dad life. How's it going, by the way,
Baby.
with the little baby?
oh, it's dope, man.
It's
My wife is like, it's so funny, it's so different. Like, my oldest, I pretty much raised by myself, for the most part. She was like 2.
Xavier, yeah.
And then my wife now, like, she's like super mom. Like, it's like super mom.
Night and day.
So it's a very different experience. Plus, like, the difference between, like, when Xavier was born, like, literally, like, at certain points in my life, 'cause I was 21 when he was born, like, stealing something from one Walmart to take back to another Walmart to get, like, store credit to buy food.
Nuts.
I use my white privilege for weird shit like that. People usually didn't usually eyeball me to steal things, so it's pretty easy. Goddamn flies. And then now, like, with this baby, when we can afford, I could afford whatever, right? Like, I could afford all the diapers and stuff, and we're paying for them now. But like, the first almost full 2 years of his life, like, his diapers were given to us by one of her friends. Her, like, parents pay for, like, a bunch of other stuff, like all the bedroom stuff. Like, we got all the clothes from like her family. Like, we didn't have to buy anything. I was like, where was this when I needed it?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, that's great.
shit.
Well, that's
So
another
it's been
thing
a
too.
good
Like, right?
experience across the board.
If I mean, you guys are responsible enough to where you knew you had a plan if you have a baby, and you had kind of a plan set up, and you know your wife obviously has her shit together. But there's a lot of people out there that
Yeah.
don't, man. That's what's
No, man.
and not
There's some
by
people having kids just
Yeah.
to have them.
not by choice, of course. Some people don't do it, but then some people that know they can't afford to have a kid, but then they're irresponsible, and this is how we get overpopulated. So
Oh man, I grew up white trash. I saw a family that would literally have like
couldn't buy condoms.
kids to get more money. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a thing. It's a thing that happens for real.
Yeah.
And again, man, it tracks back, like, not to get too like political, but it tracks back to government laws, man. They've made laws to, like, I'm dumb. I just know things, but I don't know like the exact like what they're called or when. But one of the presidents back in the day, basically, when they started doing the like what's the government money?
What, EBT?
What's it called? No, the actual funds. Well, not healthcare, Medicare,
Oh,
whatever it is. Whatever, where the government gives you money, if you're not working or whatever. They did that, and then they started giving more money for homes that didn't have the fathers living, and so dad started moving out of homes, and then eventually, like, basically, dad started getting kicked out of homes, and like just basically removing the father from the house, and then they'd give you more money for more kids, and it's been like a progressive issue since then. And you can like look back statistically and see, like, especially within the African American community, like the correlations between those laws and giving the money to like increase in crime rate, increase in like all these different things, because these homes are being, these kids are being raised fatherless. It's changed. Like, there's like
Right.
statistical evidence showing it's like,
Oh yeah.
we're still just not fixing this. Like,
Yep.
it's literally there. And the thing is, it goes to the same thing again, is they just keep giving you just enough to not realize you're being fucked. And then if you're like, especially in the African American community, if you're one of the guys that speaks out against like some of that stuff, like Candace Owens does it to like one extent. She goes too far to the other way, to where I'm just like,
I don't want to listen. Yeah.
come on. Yeah, like it's too much. But she does a good job in one area where like she tries to speak to that, and there's truth to that. And it's like, if you keep giving someone something, like my son's the best example, my 17-year-old, like, he's a great kid, but like I've given him a lot, and he's a little soft. Like, there's certain things you could just see.
Oh yeah.
Certain pieces, and I started pulling back because I started seeing it. And when you pull back, you see
Well, compared to what
them
you
rise. You'll see them
raise up to.
rise to what you allow. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I demand certain things from you in school. When you didn't do them, I took away everything, and all of a sudden those things start happening again. And it's like, oh, you can do this, and it's the same thing with other people. Like,
Yeah.
you could get out of what you're in. We need to have programs in place. People need help. There are emergencies that happen. There are life things that happen. There, people with disabilities. There's all kinds of things. There's people that always are going to need help. So there needs to be government help somewhere. But
Hey.
to some extent, it's too much.
Dude, so as you were talking, were you talking about universal basic income?
Mm,
Is that what
I
you're
don't
trying
know,
to talk about earlier?
because
Where like universal basic
it's
income was something that was proposed, like, I don't know, a while ago, but it hasn't really been in policy. But it's
I'm
where
talking about welfare was the word I was looking for.
welfare. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Because
I think
UBI
welfare
kind
is
of
maybe a little different than universal income.
it is. Yeah, UBI goes with everybody, and obviously it's based
Yeah.
off income. And if you're making six figures, you don't get it. But I mean, something like that kind of makes sense. For example, a great example is the stimulus check. So the first stimulus check I got was, and of course, I'm working from home. In fact, I got a raise because the company's doing so well. So I didn't need my stimulus check, but my mother at the time was working for herself. She owned her own company, so I gave her my stimulus check. So.
Nice.
Now, here's the question, though. Why doesn't the government do the research? Why do I have to Like, I don't need it, right? Because I have a job. Nothing's changed for me. I work from home. I've worked from home for 6 years. Nothing's changed. So
Well, that's why, like, if
that's
capitalism was worked at its purest form,
right.
you wouldn't need as much government involvement, right?
That's
Because
right.
these corporations would have to pay their employees a certain, like, they have to pay
Right.
their employees the right amount, the right wage. If you held these corporations responsible, like if you hold Walmart responsible for, well, like, it's, I forget the percentage, but like the amount of people that they have that are under like the poverty level, that are on welfare, that are on food stamps, that are on Medicare, that are on like all these different things, where it's like, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Because that's not the government helping these people. That's the
Right.
government helping Walmart.
And then Walmart
Because
not
these
returning
people
the
should
favor.
have more. Yeah, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, Teeter's like, where it's like the $15 minimum wage. And I'm just like, I go back and forth because I'm like, I
Yeah,
think
that's
most of
interesting.
why I go back and forth is because of just like my old brain, maybe. You know, I'm not fully sure. Well, I mean, I'm a small business owner. You know, me and my wife, she owns a blow dry bar, and
Mhm.
and so like it would affect. I don't know if it would affect us based on the employee count, and it's not something that jumps up. But like Andrew Schultz on this podcast was made a good example. It's like when you just say $15 an hour, it's too much. It's basically like doubling it right away. But that's not the plan. The plan isn't to double it overnight. Like
That's right.
it slowly increases over a certain amount of time. And so if they presented it that way and they educated people about it that way, it'd probably get the vote passed probably a little bit easier.
Right.
There'd probably be more people that would be less opposed to it. I think it's just that jump, and they just think like,
Well,
oh, bitch, $15 an hour. Like,
yeah.
I'm making 14 right now.
Right.
And they don't want to, like, they don't realize like, hey, this will be better for you too.
Well, dude,
Or
here's
that the other side to it is the automation. These corporations can just automate a lot of shit, which they're doing anyway, though.
correct. And they're going to do it in 15 years. It's going to get even worse. So, but here's what you got to think to yourself is they could have educated people on that, because I knew that, where it's not $15 minimum wage starting tomorrow. That's not how it's going to work if it gets passed. So are they not educating the public on purpose?
I mean, I think everything they do is
right. Like
to some extent just relatively calculated.
Yeah, it's calculated, and
From
also too where
news to
well, they want to get elected, they want to get
Yeah.
reelected, they want to whatever you believe in. Sometimes they're saying these things just to say, and it doesn't necessarily mean, because you can easily come out and say, hey, listen, here's an executive order, this is how it's going to happen, and host a press conference and explain to the American people what's going to go on. But for some reason that's not happening.
Yeah.
And is it
Well, they don't want us to have the information, and then if we all are kind of on the same side, then it's a little too hard to manipulate us.
that's right.
Like, all that happens with the media and the government is they play our team bullshit against us.
That's right.
And we can't focus on anything that's really happening because we're arguing over dumb shit that
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. And the worst part is the people that are arguing for the dumb shit aren't usually the people that are affected by it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
most of the time, like, the trans person is not the person bitching about someone saying the wrong gender, or maybe saying tranny instead of like a trans person because they're just older, or like
Yeah.
it's usually not the trans person that's bothered by that almost ever.
Correct.
Who it usually is the fucking white lady who's never actually experienced any issues ever in her whole life.
Like Karen.
And then she starts yelling at you with blue fucking hair. No, in trans, it's not a Karen. Trans is it's a blue haired Karen. Those are the ones that yell at you about trans stuff.
Yeah.
Karens are the fucking, this is more of a brown hair.
Or it's
They're
someone that
yelling at
does,
store managers.
yeah. Or it's maybe someone that doesn't even care about the issue, but just wants to say something on TikTok or Instagram to make her famous. Right?
100%.
So, yeah.
That's a big piece to it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, stop being offended for people.
Right.
Like, you want people to have equal rights. That's good. Like, speak out, man. If you see some gross miss thing, you know what I mean? Like, if you see someone being bullied or beat up because they're trans or gay or black or white or straight or anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you see something, like, you should try to stop that. Like, you shouldn't record that with your fucking phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be like, oh, this is bad to do. Or let me record it and yell at this person. you're a bad person. Like, no, man.
Yeah,
Like,
just stop
let's try
it.
to stop it and move along. Like, it's crazy what we do now. Like, what was that show? Oh, fuck on Netflix, Black Mirror. They had that episode,
Oh yeah,
man, where it
love
was
that
just
show.
like everybody's just following around with a camera, and she's just like running around screaming for her life. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is fucking exactly what's happening right now.
And dude, which by the way, Black Mirror is spot on with everything that's going on. Like in 15 years, that's going to be the real thing with the, you ever see that episode with the robot dogs that were
oh,
chasing the
dude,
people, and
it's really close.
so close.
There's like
It's
this
scary.
people like there's like a with all of this has come like this like life like loss for care of like people don't care about human life
Yeah.
as much anymore. Like murders are going up. Like my son's best friend was literally like murdered like 3 weeks ago.
Oh
Like
shit.
straight up, like he was playing basketball with my son, was driving around with one of his friends, and was murdered. And then his little
Jesus.
girlfriend like made a post about the funeral, and some kid on a fake profile jumped in saying like, I'm the one who did it. Y'all are pussies. I'll kill you two doing this. And even if it wasn't the kid that did it, like the people
What
are
the
gross enough to
fuck?
do that kind of stuff. Like it's crazy, man. Like I don't know what's happened to people, but there's certain times when you just look at it, you're just like, gosh, it really is sad.
Well, you know, the one of the most upsetting things, and that's horrible. That's horrible. One of the most upsetting things about all this is there's so many incredible, motivational, powerful people that, you know, could easily make a difference. You know, you look at like, I'm just throwing these out there, but like the Kardashians, right? Where they've made it so cool to be in front of the big screen and
Yeah,
you know, famous and on TV, and their whole lives are being shown, and
famous for nothing.
yeah,
They
exactly.
made famous for nothing
Right.
real.
And
I
then, you
mean, there
know,
was some like real world road rules.
right.
Some of those guys kind of did some stuff
Yeah.
outside that, you know what I mean? But before that, they're the like can you remember Paris Hilton? I
Yeah.
guess maybe Paris Hilton,
Yeah, she was probably one of the first, I
you
think.
know, like
But you know, you look at those chicks, and like, you know, again, there a lot of them are great business women, you know. So I'm not taking that away from 'em, but the whole idea of like giving.
Tony, are you disparaging women on National Women's Day, bro?
Oh, it is National Women's Day. That's right.
Wow.
Hell no. And
wow.
you know,
Look,
you know that
I
I
just
support
want
it
you know,
because I did an awesome
I'm gonna go
Instagram
back
post.
and love
So,
my small business owner of a wife
that's right.
and support.
Yeah.
Love her. You
But here's the difference, though.
faithful man.
Here's the difference. The difference is you could be a small businesswoman that's successful, and you don't have to brag about it, and you don't have to post and be, you know, so cavalier and braggadocious about it, because that's what's happening is people want that 5 seconds of fame. So they're willing to do everything they can. They're setting a
there's
precedent
real
to do it.
I think if you're doing the right thing, like brag about it. Like right, like for
Sure.
you, for like if you didn't post about your podcast, post about your stuff, or like
Totally.
you do that, you have to do that to market. It's the people that brag about nothing.
Right.
It's the ones that you're bragging about because you have a fat ass, basically, or
Right.
you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
if it's a dude, I mean, like.
Well, here's a good example. Here's a good example. You ready?
I don't want to say this example.
No. Here's a good example. Here's a good example. So the reason I bring up the Kardashians is because the big ass. That's the thing. You're getting all that. But on the opposite side, you look at The Rock. The Rock is the man. He's motivational. All the content he puts out is genuine and heartfelt. And that's who that has millions of followers, and he's making a difference, I think, because when you watch his feed, you feel good about yourself. And there's 1,000 other examples like that. But the question is, when you're just a regular kid and you're 15, 16 years old, it's more appealing to look at these chicks with nice asses and these hot girls that are posting about nothing and getting millions of dollars for nothing. And not saying they're not doing anything, but the fact is that you're portraying as if you're taking pictures and making money off endorsements. So when people don't get that, you know, this social media thing is dangerous because we look at our phones and we want that.
Yeah.
So when we don't get it, we act out irrationally and angry on the same people, you know, like your friend.
Yeah, it's just not. I agree with you. I don't think it's exclusive to women. I think that these social media influencers
course
across
not.
the board,
Yeah.
kind of have that piece. It's dude, again, it just like everybody just lie. Like everything's a lie.
Yeah.
Like you look at TikTok and it's like my favorite channels are the Fact or Cap like guys. I don't know
Oh,
if you've
they're
seen these
awesome.
guys.
Yeah, they're great.
They're like brothers or something. They're like Fact or Cap.
Yeah.
We look so you don't have to. Oh, that's
Yes.
a terrible.
You never know if TikTok is bullshit or something.
Yeah.
Like,
And
whatever.
you're just like,
Yeah.
you see these things, you're like, what a dumb dude. They got me. Holy shit! I forgot. My garbage disposal was stinking, and
Mhm.
my father-in-law's in town,
Okay.
and my father-in-law's a like super proud Colombian man, and he's like a handyman and does all this stuff, and
Yeah.
he's always fixing something. It's like fucking frustrating. I'm like, I'm smart too. I can do shit, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm a
I know
man
how to
too,
fix stuff.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super emasculating. And so I saw on TikTok, if you get ice and put it in the garbage disposal, hit that shit, it like cleans it and does all this stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. Watch. And he goes, "You're gonna break your garbage disposal."
Yeah, I tried that. Yeah.
I go, no. It works. Like,
I
my
saw it on
wife, because
TikTok.
we've had the conversations before, is like, just let him do it, Dad. Like, it's fine. And he goes, okay, it's gonna break. I put the ice in, and all this brown shit starts coming out of it. I'm like, yeah. Turn the hot water on. And he goes, mm-hmm. And I go, see? I go, you saw the brown? He goes, mm-hmm. He looks, opens up my cabinet, water just fucking everywhere. It fucking busted the garbage disposal. Yeah, immediately, dude. He was 100% right. And it's all because TikTok. It's all TikTok's fault.
Yeah.
100% TikTok's fault. I mean, it's my fault for not actually Googling.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
this is the problem, right? Like this is the
argument, man.
This is the argument of like what's true on social media and what isn't. Like we don't know.
You assume everything is a lie.
Everything's a lie.
Yeah, I'm at this point, man. I research
everything
and look up everything. Like I just assume like this is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Everything's for fucking just laugh and move on.
And you know that we just can't let it defy us. Like there's some great benefits of social media. You know, like I get a lot of my workouts from social media. I follow some cool influencers that, you know, teach me some things that I didn't know about, women and men. And it's one of those things where if you're a parent, and I'm sure you know this too, but you have to educate your kids on, you know, you're kind of watching a little movie. Like it's a little TV series that you're watching on TikTok because you don't know if it's true or not. You know, some stuff on TV is true, some stuff it's not. Some stuff it's based on a true story, some stuff it's kind of fragmented true stories. Like you have to do your own research, you know?
Like he'll bring me stuff all the time, especially like prank videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, those are the worst. Like some of those prank ones are the worst.
Oh, yikes.
Like those dudes, like the chicks are bad, but like they basically have no talent except for being hot. Right. But then the adverse to that are these guys who have no talent other than like jump scaring people or like just like walking up and staring at them or like taking something out of their cart. Oh. And we're like, it's so funny. And like the kids legit think it's hilarious. I'm just like, what is happening? I'd fight one of these kids.
Yeah.
If they did that to me.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's not fun. There's no talent in that. There's no, I mean, so it's the same. Like they're just as bad. Like it's just, but everybody's got to find their lane, man. Like at the end of the day, like if you say anything negative, you just come across, you're like, oh, you're a hater. So you want people to do good, like however they want. I really try to like, I laugh at it. I like to talk about it sometimes and like not try to get too frustrated anymore.
Yeah.
But like because if you think about it too much, like it's part of the reason why like I haven't fully started the podcast I want to do, which I think I found something to do it with now. Hopefully we'll start here pretty soon. Yeah. And why I don't do as much with comedy and why I don't promote as much of my comedy and stuff anymore, even is just because it's like social media is just, it's taxing. It's like, it's already like it's too much, man. And the more like I've been trying to post more recently and doing these things, and it's good, but like it just opens up a side of me, one that's not like the best. Like I'm super trolled. Like, oh bro, I'm so good at trolling on the internet. Like
At least you're self-aware of it.
it's well, man. Like think like I talked to my wife. One of the things that she doesn't understand about me is that like they say 10,000 hours. It's like, dude, I've knocked on 10,000 doors. Like I've talked
That's
to
right.
10,000 people. Like so like I'm really am good at having a conversation, dissecting a conversation, reading body language, reading like just subtleties and things. Like I like say one of my superpowers is like I can tell what someone hates about themselves in like 2.5 seconds. Like, and I can use that against you
Against
fast. And so when you give me that mixed with time, right, to write a response,
Yeah.
where I can actually no, actually, let me think about this. Oh, bro, I'm a fucking assassin.
Boom. That's it. Yeah.
Not really a thing to be proud of, but I know it's one of those things like I know that's a bad part of my character, so I try to like mitigate some of it. And I've tried to really like when I'm doing it, just be like a bully who picks on bullies. So I try to find the other trolls and I just pick on them. That's what I used to do in school too. I used to get in a lot of fights, but I never started one. But if
Yeah.
you picked on like a kid, I used to have like, dude, I have a lot of short friends, man. Like I
Yeah.
really do.
I know. Represent the short
right?
folk.
So, because I used to like to fight a lot, but I didn't want to. I'm not gonna fight.
Never started
a
it.
small kid for what? So
Well,
you
we
fight
need
a
more.
bully.
We need more of that. We need more people that want to, not pick the fight, but they want to end the fight by rescuing someone else. I think we need more of that
Yeah,
too.
now it's more like a pile on culture. And just try to destroy them.
Yeah, it's annoying.
They really just want to watch it burn. They like watching it burn until it starts burning, and they're like, "Oh my god, what'd you do?" You're like, "Bitch, you did this." Like Britney Spears. It was like, poor Britney.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the fuck, you guys did this.
That was such a great documentary, by the way.
The media's like, poor Britney. Like,
It's your fault, motherfucker.
You guys are literally like TMZ's like Britney. Oh no, Brit. You all the motherfuckers that followed her around till she beat you to death with a fucking umbrella and shaved her head. Like, what are you doing? You live in a fucking cartoon world.
Yeah.
Call it back.
We just
That's a callback.
Yeah, dude. Like, we just all need to work on being better people, not worrying about what other people think, and just do us, treat everyone with kindness, and then hopefully everything else will happen. Because I have found that during the pandemic where, because you talked about this earlier and I wanted to say something, but where your life was going in waves, right? And when you picked up faith, things started getting for you. And I think there's some truth in that as well, not just with, from a religious standpoint, but just faith in general, really faith in yourself and the people around you.
Yeah.
And if you're not surrounding yourself with people that kind of carry that same faith in, call it humanity, yourself, your future, fill in the blank, whatever. If you're not surrounding yourself with those people that have that same vision of faith to have a better future, then you're going to get sucked into it. Very similar to social media. That's why I unfollowed so many of my friends. It's and it's made my feed way more.
It's made it better. Oh, it's so much. Dude, my feed is so curated. I only like the only time when I say troll now, it's just like sports stuff. Right. I just like trolling those fucking like old white dudes that are like Larry Bird's the best 3-point shooter of all time. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Trolling those guys.
You got to let the algorithm work for you, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like I curate my shit. Like my TikTok is just like Call of Duty game, highlights, funny stuff. Like I just try to get as much funny stuff as possible, man.
Yeah.
I like to laugh, and I used to dude, I don't even listen to like Joe Rogan for as much, for example. Like,
right.
Hardly ever.
Little clips.
I think the Spotify thing just threw me off. Like I don't know. It just feels weird.
Yeah. Strange.
But no, like even before you went to Spotify though, I stopped because I was like, I'm learning. This is too much information, man. I don't need. My brain can't handle this much information without any outlet. Like so, there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
So like I don't need to know about this shit.
Yeah. Well, it's so, like Gary V.
Shows I listen to.
Gary V is another good example too. He's so motivational, and there's a lot of good nuggets that, he has. But unless you're planning of getting value and doing something with, after a few hours of that, you're just kind of like, whoa, dude, I'm good. Like, I think before I started this podcast, I really got into
Gary V for that reason.
Right. That's right.
But I was for a while, I was big, dude. I'm like, this is dope. I love people that talk like this.
But I got what I needed out of it,
Yep. And then I was done.
and I was done. And yeah, there needs to be a little bit more of that for sure, I think. But
Yeah, I have to take
I've been
out
yeah,
all
I've
that
been
shit now.
I've been feeling way better, dude. Now that my wife went completely off social media she's going on almost 3 months now. She loves it.
Nice.
You know, she just started watching TikTok videos again because it's awesome. But
Yeah,
just
they're
like
fun.
engaging with people, yeah, she's done with that.
I think my wife might do that. Might have like just maybe watch TikTok videos and stuff, but she has
Right.
to have it for the store.
There you go. Yeah,
I
'Cause
keep
it's
it
good to
going
have.
just because like
that's good to have.
again every now and then for comedy or to promote a show, and I like to
Yeah.
like make it fun. If I have a funny thought, like is this a funny thought? Because
Yeah,
when you're writing jokes, you're like sometimes what I think's funny and like what actually is funny.
Right.
Two different. The longer I've been doing it, the closer the two are getting together, but still a lot
Yes.
of work. It fucking sucks.
So, dude, let's end it on this. Tell me a little bit about real quick what your so obviously with your comedy, you're starting. I'm seeing you post more about going to shows. Looks like you're getting on stage more
Yeah, trying
Right?
to. We've been
compared to last
fortunate.
time.
Yeah, we've been fortunate through the pandemic to get more times. I still don't get out as much probably as I should, but it's one of those things I have to keep at like an arm's distance because I really enjoy it, and I'm having an addictive personality.
Yeah.
And I didn't pull this trigger when I was younger.
Right.
I had a kid young. It was all kind of my responsibilities, and so I can't sacrifice too much time away from the family to pursue this thing. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's a great hobby. If something happens, I want to start doing a little bit of podcasts and maybe recording some more skits and stuff like that. It's just
Nice.
so hard to take myself seriously when it comes to that shit. It's really, really hard to put out.
But that's good though. But that's good.
At least it's something. But even those, it's just like, it's only just because I want to like put it out there. Like, dude, like the idea of it, even if I think about like the idea of like, oh, if it takes off, and I see like, because I have a few friends here, especially since the pandemic, that have come out of Orlando, like that are like TikTok famous. Like one of my guys, Jeff, like that we did jokes with. He's not like my best friend or anything. I've met him like a few times telling jokes, so don't
Right.
let me exaggerate it. But he got a job writing for like the Jimmy Fallon show through
Oh
TikTok.
shit.
My homegirl Heather, she's like the Jim Carrey girl on TikTok. Like looks like Jim Carrey's daughter. It's like there's like 1 million+ followers.
Oh my god, I've seen her. She's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, she's actually is like the homegirl. Dude, I get her on your podcast if you want. I bet if you want to talk to her, she's fucking funny, bro.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. She's hilarious.
So
I follow her
funny.
on TikTok. And I'm a huge Jim Carrey nut. Like he was my favorite actor as a kid. So
yeah, I'll talk to her.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
She's wicked cool. But so I see what they're doing. I'm like, it's dope that's blowing up, but like the drain of like making those videos every day and like
It's a lot.
interacting with those people, like, man, I got like a real job and family and shit to do. Like I can't.
You got 2 kids, yeah.
Yeah, like it's just not even. I don't
Although-
even understand how that's in the ball game.
Although
But I also will play 3 hours of video games a day. So
that's right.
I mean, I could not do that. Like
But that does release a little bit of aggression.
all of mine.
There's some tactical
It's like the only thing I do,
planning. I know.
but do it too much.
But like
Speaking of which, we need to play Call of Duty together, bro.
I was gonna say, yeah, we haven't
I'm good.
fucked around. I mean, I'm decent. I've gotten better
Get
over
on
the
there.
pandemic for
Yeah,
sure.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can roll, bro.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do
jumping
some.
after this probably.
I'll shoot you my fucking my tag after this.
Word.
And then what's up with this podcast? So I see you got the soundboards behind you. I got those too behind
I
me.
got those. Xavier's also been like rapping. He's actually really good.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know when you were telling me last time we talked.
Beats. Yeah, he's rapping and making beats. Last time it was like this. Oh shit! My son said he wants to rap. I'm like, how am I telling him? He's like, because I didn't raise him to be like street
rapper?
life. Like, he's good, dude. It's fucking crazy. But
Yeah.
he's always been really musically inclined. He makes beats real good. So,
Is
I
he
try
on
to create space for
SoundCloud
him
or
for a little bit.
anything?
Yeah, he's on SoundCloud. He's on Apple and Spotify.
No shit.
Zine. Yeah, it's
How do you spell
X with I think 3 E's and an M.
that? Okay. Shout out. Look for that.
Holla. But yeah, he's got a couple songs on Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud. He's got a bunch of stuff on SoundCloud.
That's rad, dude.
And then his Instagram, he makes like a beat almost every day, new beat. So he's been doing that. So I try to make that space for him. Like, dude, I even got one of these like really dope. Oh, here, hang on. Like one of these joints.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
guess what? No fucking idea how to use it. No idea
Dude,
at all.
Is that
I've
a
just
Zoom?
seen it in people's videos.
Is that a Zoom?
So I have everything to do a podcast. I got mic stands set up over there. I got all kinds of shit. I got stuff for like just haven't done it.
Yeah, you got you can't see this. That's my Roadcaster. Same thing.
Nice.
So you got
Yeah,
the
see, I don't
sound-
know how to do it with any of this stuff.
Yeah, you got the sound pads. I could just go.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then that's dope.
Yeah, dude. I could teach you all that stuff if you don't find it online. But that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so hopefully this
Yeah, you
other
should.
dude, he's do some of the editing and some of this other stuff. So
You
that's
got
one of the
mics.
things, like,
You got mics and everything
need-
too.
yeah.
Nice.
I just need I need every one of those podcasts has those like that guy. Like I just need to find me a nerd who believes in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's all you need.
it's like finding a wife. When you find your wife, like helps your career as a man. Like if I
Yeah.
want to be successful at podcasting, I need to find me a nerd that believes in me.
Yeah. Well, dude, you could just do what I do. I mean, with this, I mean, I run everything
You're
with this stream deck.
You're so much more disciplined than I am.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess so.
No, 100%. Like I can be. It's weird too, man, because I can be disciplined. Like I lost all that weight and shit.
Yeah.
But then there's those times where I just fucking
Yeah.
man. It's like I have
But,
to pick
you
my
know,
battles.
Especially with now, dude, like it's so easy now, because like this, I just sent you a link and boom,
Yeah.
it's a podcast.
Yeah, that was dope.
Now's the time to, and this program I use called Ecamm, which it's only for Mac users, but like I could put up social and the background and all that stuff.
I got a Mac Holland.
Yeah, dude, check it out. But yeah, it's so easy now where you just literally just record and press it. Like I don't even know if I want to have people in the studio anymore as much. I hate doing these virtual ones because there's no like,
Yeah.
it's way
It's not
different
been
in
bad
person.
though, man. It's
Well, of course, it's part of the
I thought it might be.
part of the we talking, but yeah,
Well, I mean, that helps.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
But yeah, no, man, it was been fun always.
Yeah.
I think I'm having one of these an animator do a couple of my jokes into cartoons.
Oh,
so I'll have
cool.
those coming out maybe in the next little bit. I don't know how long it takes them, but
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, a couple like there's a joke I tell about my son taking a shit and my wife catching it. I think it'll be pretty funny in the joke form.
Yeah.
In cartoon form, so.
And
I'll
then
do
you're
stuff
gonna
like that, man. Just
push out content
really
that way?
honestly, just because I want to do it and it's funny, and I think if a few people like it, that'd be cool. I have no real expectations of like monetizing.
it getting
or any of
anywhere.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if it did, it'd be cool. But even if it
Yeah.
does, I'm not gonna be one of those guys like, okay, I made it, now I need to make a video every day. I'm like, well, if you want to keep watching, you might see another one of these in like a month.
Right.
Talk to you tomorrow. Maybe, but probably not. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, dude, that's the best way to put out shit, I think. Like if
Yeah.
I'm following somebody that I appreciate that more than someone who like puts out content just to put it out, and then like one video is garbage and then the next day you could just tell they just like rush this and they're just like trying to put shit out. And it's like I'd rather get quality content in certain terms of
yeah, and that's part of the reason. What's one of the things that's always held me up too is 'cause I feel like if I don't have the right camera, the right shit, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Like I use it as
Right.
excuses, really.
yeah, that's an
Um,
excuse talking, but
But
yeah, I
it's
get what you're
also
saying.
it's a like a bit of like also me not wanting to put out some bullshit because
Right.
everybody just puts out bullshit.
That's right.
So like if I'm gonna put something out, I want to do it like the right way, and I want it to look right, and I don't want it to just be like, oh, you can tell that guy did that with his one iPhone that's not even the new iPhone with bad lighting, and like, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather do
Yeah.
it right. Like even like these little things, it's something, but I'm looking at them in here, I'm like, this looks fucking ridiculous. Like I want to move my desk. What I'm gonna do is move my desk out and like get these
Yeah.
like 3D wall panels and fix all my shit, and
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
We know these are the same soundboard you have. I just put them
Yeah, you put them in a good design.
because they look dope.
Yep, I was trying to do it to actually like because it's my garage door right there, so it's like
Oh, really?
super.
I couldn't
Yeah,
tell.
yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I know, so I made it like I actually sounded it out.
No, but that's good. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad things
Yeah.
are going well, and
Appreciate
obviously
it. This is
keep-
always fun.
yeah, it's always a good time. We got to do it again because we're only at We're only at 2 hours, so
Yeah, it's easy
yeah,
peasy.
that's small potatoes. But yeah, dude, no, this was fun, man. I'm glad the career's kind of it's picking up, but you're having fun with it. That's the
Yeah.
key, because I think if you
Oh yeah.
don't have fun with something that's a hobby, that's when you know for sure you're wasting your time. So as long as you're having fun and you just keep doing your thing, dude, that's the key. So
Yep, I agree.
and if you need
All
help
right,
with the
dude.
podcast or anything, let me know.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, dude. Talk soon, brother.
Take it easy. Later.
Peace.